I wanted to make this video because I guess it's a hot take now in this whole space when everybody suddenly cares about MSRP, and I wanted to revisit this topic because, you know, this MSRP thing, it's such a made up thing. It's like people have just recently started talking about MSRP. If you go back a year ago, the topic of MSRP never came up for modern stuff. Maybe it only came up when, Sword and Shield boxes were on Pokemon Center website for MSRP and that was lower than market price. But other than that, nobody talked about MSRP because it's a made up thing. Do you guys know what MSRP even means? It's a manufacturer suggested retail price. It's like a made up thing. They're suggesting it be a price. It's not like a ceiling price. It's not like it's capped at selling. That's not like stores can only sell and have to sell at that price. That's not how it works. It's just a suggested price. So this whole MSRP talk recently, obviously now prices are above MSRP. People talk about it. But it's a made up thing. It literally means nothing. And when you even look at it further and you look at these sets from Scarlet and Violet and you see how long these sets were available for under MSRP, it becomes evident that MSRP is a made up thing that people only care about now because the super popular good sets are above MSRP and people complain that they're above MSRP. But when you look a year ago, this was really never a problem. So it really goes to show something. It goes to show a lot of people in the space are new. Because, like I said, a year ago, nobody talked about MSRP. It was not a thing. Market price was way under MSRP for everything. Booster boxes, $90, $80, maybe $100. Like, it was so cheap. But now that we have some sets that are super expensive, MSRP gets brought up. But like I said, I'm pretty sure this is a lot of new people because if you've been around for a few years, you know MSRP does not mean anything. It is a made up name that people want to use now to criticize people for selling above it. It's a crazy thing in this whole space. And I'm going to show you guys here some examples of how cheap things were back then, how MSRP did not even mean anything back then because everything was dirt cheap. So first here we have Scarlet and Violet base. Now this set I believe is almost 2 years old now, or maybe it is, I'm not exactly sure, but it's around there. This is still under MSRP, you could say, right? Because it is, MSRP is 161, it's still under MSRP. But look how cheap. This was even like a year ago, and this set, like I said, is almost 2 years old. This was $90. Where were you at then when this was $90? Are you new to the space because now think everything's popular because of the Pocket app or whatever? Is that how you came in? It's like, where were you at? This stuff, it was cheap, and guess what? MSRP was not a topic. You want to pay MSRP for Scarlet Violet base? I don't think you wanted to, right? And even now it's cheaper than MSRP, and people don't even want to pay that for Scarlet Violet base. It's crazy, right? MSRP is fake. You keep looking. Paldea evolved. A year ago, this set, it's a little bit over a year and a half old now, I believe. A year ago. $100. It was that cheap. Where were you at? And even before, like, look, even just 6 months ago, $140. It was under MSRP. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't really complaining about these older sets, but I'm trying to prove here that MSRP is a made up thing because look at how cheap this stuff was, and nobody talked about MSRP. Let's keep going. Obsidian Flames. It now is above MSRP. It's almost $190, which is crazy, right? But this set was so cheap for so long. I remember I bought a case of Obsidian Flames booster boxes for $540. Where were you at, and why was no one talking about MSRP? Because it was dirt cheap. It's crazy. It's like, I feel like for me, and a lot of maybe some people that watch my channel, this whole MSRP thing is a bamboozly topic because if you were here in this whole Pokemon space for longer than like 6 months or a year, this MSRP is bullcrap, right? Like, that because you knew how it was back then when market price for products were $100, right? And nobody talked about it or cared about it. But now things are expensive, people care about it. Maybe that's why I don't understand. Maybe that's why I guess I'm so just one-sided on this topic of just MSRP being a stupid thing, because if you were here, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Like, things were so dirt cheap. Look at Paradox Rift for so long. But now everyone complains about all these new sets and everything. Like, even some of them are still around MSRP. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like, $100 for the longest time. You notice a very common trend here. All the stuff is all recent, everything going up. And yeah, you can just see everything here. Like, I mean, this is just, everything just in this whole past few months, because this market has been crazy. But even 151, like, this is a perfect example of a set where it came out the gate and it wasn't like prismatic. It wasn't crazy, right? And you could have gotten this even a year ago. And this set is over a year old now. Look, MSRP, a year ago. You could have got this for MSRP. What is it at now? Almost $200. And, I've talked about this before. Time fixes everything. People are not complaining about 151 prices, even though this set's only a year and a half old, and the normal Elite Trainer box is $200. Isn't that crazy? But why is no one mad about it? Because it's not new. Because it's older. People only are complaining about the stuff that they're buying right now because they probably just came in the hobby and it's expensive. But look at 151. Why is no one complaining about this? It's new and it's like a $200 Elite Trainer box that's a year and a half old. That's crazy, right? But no one's complaining about it because it's not the new hot thing. Because, Prismatic is, and everyone complains about that. And I've talked about it so many times. I feel like Prismatic Evolutions in a few months from now, people aren't going to be as mad about it because it's going to be old news. And, yeah, people just aren't going to complain about as much about MSRP and everything with it. But, I mean, look at this. This is like 4 times MSRP, and it's a normal Elite Trainer box. So, yeah, 151. I remember, I forget how long, I think it was the end of last year or something. I remember having the chance to buy Elite Trainer. I think it was it was towards the end of last year. I remember having the chance to buy 151 Elite Trainer boxes at like $65, and I didn't do it at the time. And obviously now that I look kind of dumb because I should have bought it. But yeah, just things have changed so fast, and things with MSRP and stuff. I'm telling you, it's really crazy when you come from a perspective of just being in a market where that wasn't even talked about. And even Paldean Fates. This is a crazy one. I remember Paldean Fates came out. No one cared about this set. Like, it's crazy how so much things have changed with all this talk about MSRP. It's such a headache. Like, look at this. Look how this was under MSRP. Because MSRP is $50 for a specially set ETBs. This was under MSRP for so long. Look at just recently how this has gone up. Because nobody cared about the Bubble Mew. Nobody cared about the Charizard. Nobody cared about the Gardevoir. It's just recently people care about it. So, this whole MSRP thing, I'm just trying to illustrate here with all these sets. It's a made-up concept. It's a made-up thing that people complain about, because these people complaining about it, guess what? Probably 90% of them are new. Because guess what? A year ago, do you think if a store, let's say market price, right? For Paldean Fates, let's just use this as an example because this is the only one up here. If Paldean Fates, at the time, the market price was $40, which is under MSRP, right? Let's say a store charge MSRP $50. Would you buy from that store? Like, be honest. Or would you buy online where market price is $40? It's like all these things that I like. These people MSRP, they will not buy from you for MSRP when market price is lower. Obviously, right? And that's why it goes to the thing where just MSRP is just a thing that people like to bring up when it only helps them, when MSRP is, lower than market price. MSRP it's an arbitrary number. Like, seriously, it is. It's not a real thing, like people try to make it out to be. Because if MSRP really did matter, guess what? During these downtimes when Pokemon isn't like it is now, people would be selling at MSRP. But guess what? That's not how this works, because how this whole collectible Pokemon space works is based on market price, not based on MSRP. These stores, they don't just sell at MSRP. They're not required to do that. And when times are bad, they don't sell at MSRP because that's not how the market is. So, I just wanted to go back to this MSRP, topic today, because recently I've been just seeing some things about MSRP, and I'm telling you, can someone back me up and comment below? If you were here a year plus ago, can you back me up on this? MSRP is a made-up thing. Nobody was talking about this because market price was cheaper than everything, and no one cares about MSRP until now. It's like I know I'm on this big rant about MSRP, and I should probably just end this video because I keep saying the same thing. But it's so annoying hearing about MSRP. Like, I just want to go to sleep when I hear it. To be honest, it's talked about so much to the point where it's just, I don't know. I just have a headache, to be honest. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the video here. Yeah, because it's just frustrating to talk about it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know your opinions. I know a lot of the new people are gonna get mad at me, but I don't really care because MSRP is a made up number, and that's how it is. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.